This is Cult Film Face Off.
Hello and welcome to episode 26 of Cult Film Face Off. My name is Chet Roybus. With me as usual is Nick Leonard.
Hello.
This episode we're going to be looking at two crime movies from the 1990s, both released in late 1995 and both incorrectly assumed, I think, to be inspired by the work of Quentin Tarantino. We're going to be looking at The Usual Suspects and Things to Do in Denver When You're Dead. But we will start off with a film that came out in September, I believe, of that year in the States, The Usual Suspects, directed by Bryan Singer. The sole survivor of a bloody massacre on board a docked cargo ship, career criminal Verbal Kims relays his story to a US customs agent, a story of 5 criminals, a phony drug deal, and a man named Kaiser Soze. The Usual Suspects.
All right, you all know the drill.
And that was how it started. The 5 of us being brought in on a trumped-up charge to be leaned on by half-wits.
Number 1, step forward.
It didn't make sense that I'd be there. I mean, these guys were hardcore hijackers.
Answer my question.
You hit me in the back. Hello?
What the cops never figured out, and what I know now, was that these men would never break, never bend over for anybody.
You gonna charge me?
You don't put guys like that into a room together.
Let's get back to that truck.
Who knows what can happen?
I figure we owe it to ourselves to salvage a little dignity. Me and Fenster heard about a little job.
My employer requires your services, gentlemen. 1 job, 1 day's work. Very dangerous.
Close quarters, 10, maybe 20 men. Anybody who goes in there is not coming out alive.
Is there a problem?
I want to know why. 27 men died on that pier for what looks to be $91 million worth of dope that wasn't there.
This isn't life's in danger. He saw the devil.
Kaiser Soze!
He mentioned Kaiser Soze. Who? Who's Kaiser Soze?
Press 20. Do it now.
There is no Kaiser Soze.
You never knew. That was his power.
He was in the harbor killing many men.
You mention his name again, I'll kill you right now.
How do you shoot the devil in the back?
A gift from Mr. Soze.
You got my whole life in here. Everything I've ever done since I was 18.
Everybody I've ever worked with or did time with.
Keaton always said, I don't believe in God, but I'm afraid of him.
He's here.
Well, I believe in God. And the only thing that scares me is Kaiser Soze. And like that, he's gone.
Okay, I'm sure I don't need to ask this question, but have you seen this before?
I have seen it before.
When was the last time you watched it?
Many years ago, 20 years ago, and I saw it. I've seen it at least 2-3 times in the past.
That's it?
Yeah, 2-3 times.
Okay, alright, so how did it stand up?
It was a real treat to revisit this, because my memory of watching it in the past is that it's one of those things I was like, I've got it all unravelled, then I'm a bit lost. But it was completely clear in my head and concise this time round of watching it.
Yeah.
Didn't get lost at all. Obviously because of knowing what the huge plot twist is at the end. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
What's your relationship with it?
I saw it at the cinema when I would have been 14 or 15 when it came out, and I loved it. But the first time I saw it, I thought Gabriel Byrne was Kaiser Soze. I was convinced that was the answer, and I thought the whole notice board thing was just a hallucination or something. But I was 14, so I'll let myself off. But it's a film that I really, really liked, but I never quite loved it as much as a lot of other people. Because it wasn't that, Tarantino was the thrill of something that was completely new, and this was a much more classical film, and I was expecting it to not stand up. But I thought it was absolutely fantastic. I loved every second of it, and I think it's a real, true classic in ways that I didn't probably before.
No, my appreciation of it now far outweighs of what my thoughts were back at the time. As I said, I only watched it a couple of times. The cast, it's such a great... everyone in that cast deserves plaudits. Especially Kevin Spacey, especially Gabriel Byrne, and especially Chaz Palminteri. He is just brilliant.
Brilliant, absolutely.
Great great role in this. He's just this hard-ass cop who's just unrelentless, and then you've got this whole kind of back and forth between Verbal Kent and himself, and it's just completely engaging.
Yeah, 100%. It's one of those films where all the the performances are all so good that they lift it. I mean, I think even Stephen Baldwin, when I saw him, and I hadn't seen him before, when I saw him as a kid, I thought, wow, he's going to have a career like Alec Baldwin. And I don't think anything he ever did
came close to this.
No chance. And you know, I think it speaks volumes that Stephen Baldwin's character and Kevin Pollock's character are basically the same person, but they're played slightly differently. So I mean, I think on the page they would have been, you could have actually sort of melded them together into one character, but because of the way they're played, they actually come across as very, very different people. It's, I mean, from the beginning, the second it starts, it's got that great theme, the great music, just over that very, very slow panning. I'm amazed that people were just, this is the you know, it owed a debt to Tarantino, because it didn't really owe a debt to Tarantino at all.
I don't see really any kind of comparisons you make to this in Tarantino. But, you know, apparently it's got extremely well-written dialogue, as in Tarantino's fame for very well-written dialogue.
Yeah, and it's about criminals.
And it's about criminals. Yeah. What I found interesting is like the whole lineup, which is obviously was used to promote the film. When I'm looking into doing this, you know, reviewing this film, is that the lineup sequence was basically, it was scripted as a serious scene,
right.
But because they had gone into overtime filming it, the actors were starting to get a bit unhinged because of lack of sleep. But apparently, due to Benicio del Toro dropping no less than a dozen fucking air biscuits, he was apparently just chuffing the whole time, making everybody crack up. That's where the whole tone has gone the other way and has gone very comedic. But, there's apparently a lot of that as well. There was a lot of improvisation. There was a lot. You could just tell that. You could tell that there's acting, that they're riffing on these characters and creating this fucking great snappy dialogue.
It was definitely the way to go, because I must have seen this film 15 times, I guess. Watching it this time, I was like, oh fuck, it doesn't cut together very well at all. When it cuts back to the different shots, they're standing there dead serious and then they're laughing, but it doesn't matter because I think that was important to have that in there, that kind of loose, slightly more realistic feeling. One thing I'll say about the script, there's a lot that, I mean, everything's basically right with it, but I think in a film like this you must have invented profanity, and the only profanity in this film is people are either called cocksucker or someone says fuck you, fuck you cocksucker, fuck you and after a while it's just like, anything else, just throw in another insult or something, but fuck you and cocksucker.
There's a lot of cocksuckers.
And then there's one scene where I think Kevin Pollock and Steve Ball just shout "fuck you" at each other, and I was like, say something else. That's the one thing I'd fault with this script. Script.
If I'm going to nitpick at things, and I remember at the time, as soon as he rocks up, and he's a great actor, but Pete Postlethwaite's accent in this, I find jarring. I don't know what he's meant to, because he sounds extremely kind of almost Indian.
That's what I thought, and I was like, Kobayashi.
Yeah, I just didn't understand what that was about.
But then again, it's so warped and unrealistic that it's when you know what the film's about and how the story goes, you think, oh, okay, well, I mean.
Yeah, but for me though, it was like, you know, as soon as he started talking, I was like, oh, I remember this kind of grating for me when I watched it, 20 years ago. It's just a strange choice. To have Kobayashi sound Indian, and a guy who's not really putting off a good Indian accent.
It's that. I mean, I understand where you're coming from, but it only makes it stronger when you find out what basically, when the twist comes. I love the way that it was a mystery straight away while you're guessing why you're all in the lineup together. And I honestly reckon, watching this again, and I watched it really closely, really intensely, I honestly think you can say something about The Usual Suspects that you can't say about many films, not even some of the greatest of all time. I honestly don't think you could lose a scene in it. I don't think there's any scene that you could chop out.
No, there's not.
No, it's unbelievably.
It's taut, and it's got a running time of just under 2 hours.
Yeah.
It was just, I love the fact that you got these characters, and as I've said before, I love that I could completely keep track of what was happening. It wasn't too much at all. There was nothing that threw me off. I was completely keeping up with the plot, and just how the fact that these devious characters are just getting slowly manipulated, and the fact that the way this all gets revealed, I just thought the pacing of it was absolutely masterful.
Yeah, it really was. And another thing that I thought was jaw-dropping is that it's almost an entire hour until Kaiser Soze actually becomes part of the plot, and he actually, aside from the guy babbling his name anyway, until it actually becomes a part of the plot, which is pretty amazing, because you think he's hanging over the whole story from the beginning, and that's not the case. It's kind of one of those films. It's like The Sixth Sense, in that when you watch it again, the twist is kind of, I mean, obviously it's not the right word, but when I was watching it, you know, there's a bit at the beginning where Dan Hedaya is talking about how spooked people are around Spacey, and he's got this immunity, and you're just thinking, why is this all the case? That's never explained. And when I was watching again, I was just like, this is kind of. It's apparent from the beginning what the twist is going to be, and there's that long shot, unnaturally long shot of him studying the notice board before the interview starts. You're like, fuck, all of the pieces are there, and all of the misdirection just comes from Spacey. I thought it was really good. Whereas if you actually, I'm sure there's a lot of people who said, oh, yeah, I mean, I need the twist.
I think they're telling massive things.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
It's so Spacey is so convincingly pathetic.
Yeah.
I mean, and testament is why he got the nod, why he got the Oscar. I mean, he went full method. He had his fingers on his left hand glued together to make Verbal Kid's disability look more realistic, and he filed down his shoes to make them look worn down by the character's limp. I mean, stuff that just elevates it to that degree of like reality.
Yeah. I mean, the performances really set it. And that's an aspect that I didn't really appreciate when I saw it as a kid. I didn't really appreciate how good basically everybody in the cast is. And again, this is the minorest of. Actually, it's not a complaint at all. It's just an observation. But it is an old-fashioned film, and the thing I kept noticing that I don't think you see in films anymore. I honestly, I don't recall seeing this in a modern film for a long time. There's at least 3, I think, slow zooms into windows to sort of to know this is where we are. You know, it's like a staple of like 80s TV. Whenever there's a scene, an exposition shot is just zooming into a window. I thought, wow, I haven't seen that in fucking ages. So it's a really. I can see why, as a kid, I was like, I want Tarantino fucking shit up rather than something that's very much more traditional than that.
Yeah, I mean, it's very much that classic neo-noir that, you know, you've got things, you know, not many films that you can say accomplishes it, but LA Confidential, I think it's a fantastically polished neo-noir that stands the test of time, and it's just a very classy, taut, dark, sophisticated thriller.
Yeah.
And I absolutely love watching this again. And I appreciate it so much more being this much older.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I always liked it. I always liked it a lot, but now it really feels like a proper classic. I mean, when the film finished, I had like a couple of questions. Like, I don't really understand how they found Kobayashi when they went to go and whack him in that building, and they were on when they dressed up.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how the fuck that happened. You know, there's little talk, but it's after the film's over. Like, there's only things that I start while you're in it. It's just completely spellbinding. I loved it. I mean, I was honestly expecting this to seem a little bit
dated.
Yeah, and not live up to my recollections, but it surpassed them. I just think it's a great film.
Yeah, I mean, there's people online that do question Verbal Ken being Kaiser Soze. There's a big kind of faction of people saying, "Oh no, it's definitely Gabriel Byrne." I can't really see looking at how it would be.
How can they say that? Really? There was one time where I think probably the second time I saw it, I thought, okay, Pete Postlethwaite's Kaiser Soze.
Yeah.
And he was Kobe. I mean,
because the whole thing is obviously everything is retold from Verbal Clint's retelling of it.
Yeah, and it's all. I mean, the whole thing. When you sit back and you think this could the whole thing.
Yeah.
Almost all of it could have been bullshit. I think it's rare in that it's one of those jigsaw puzzle films where the solution just doesn't really. It's like Memento. The solution doesn't really matter. It's
getting there.
Getting there, exactly.
I will say that the only one piece that's slightly jutted out for me is the end sequence when they're pulling the shakedown on the boat. There's a witness there who can identify Kaiser Soze, and his death is rather melodramatic.
Oh yeah, right.
That was a little bit over egging the pudding.
Okay, oh yeah, I didn't mind that so much.
Yeah, and the lighting as well. The lighting in that boat sequence, it was really lit. Way more lit in films that superseded it. It was very well lit, that last harbour sequence.
Was it? Okay, I didn't notice that at all. I think it's quite unusual. I don't know, it might be a first. The composer of the music edited the film as well, John Ottman. I thought it was quite strange.
Okay.
It's just a strange thing. I don't think I've ever. I can't recall a composer having also edited the film.
No. One of these message boards when this person was basically mapping out this big. I mean, I just read his essay about very tenuous facts about how he thought Gabriel Byrne was in fact the Kaiser Soze. It was just huge ruse. Another guy chipped in and said, well, what nailed it for him, the final proof that Kevin Spacey refutably had to be Kaiser Soze, is obviously he picked up the lighter from the evidence room when he gets the lighter that obviously set Gabriel Byrne on fire. And the way he smokes a cigarette, he smokes it from the bottom down, which is traditionally the way that Turkish men smoke cigarettes.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah,
I don't know how much. I don't know how traditionally Turkish men smoke cigarettes, but I thought, well, that's a fucking. If you spotted that from that tiny little bit of detail, that's fucking cool.
Fair enough. Yeah. Okay, so I was expecting to be disappointed. I wasn't. Absolutely was not.
No, I mean it stood the test of time and has got better. And I would, encourage anyone listening to go and watch it.
Yeah, I mean. Again,
we spoiled the fuck out of it.
Yeah.
I can't imagine if you're listening to a film, listening to us that you haven't probably seen.
Yeah,
It's pretty.
But if you saw it 10, 15 years ago and didn't think that much, did you read Roger Ebert's review?
He fucking hated it. 1.5 stars. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe 1.5 stars.
Yeah, I didn't get it either.
He must have been having a bad day at the office.
No, but he's subsequently wrote something.
Has he reappraised it?
Yeah, he hasn't. He feels exactly the same way. I don't.
That's a real surprise.
Yeah.
Like you can't appreciate. Even if you don't, even if he's really fucked off by that twist ending. Yeah, to appreciate the actual craftsmanship of Singer's direction and the performances.
But he also felt that it was confusing and then it didn't add up to much. I agree that it doesn't add up to much because that's kind of the point. But I didn't find it confusing.
But how can you not be completely sucked into that world?
Yeah, I totally agree.
Odd.
Yeah, strange. Okay, well, let's move on to our next film, which was released in December 1995 in the United States. Things to Do in Denver When You're Dead, directed by Gary Fleder. A reformed mob associate, affectionately known as Jimmy the Saint, is forced out of retirement in order to save his failing business. Things to Do in Denver When You're Dead.
Jimmy the Saint was a good man.
You're different, Jimmy. You got decency.
Who left behind a bad world.
You glide.
I glide?
You glide. It's a very attractive quality. You're a thing to be amazed by.
Then one day, the old boss forced him back.
Why me? I got a call in the note. What do you want done? It's just an action. It's not a piece of work.
Look at this. All the Pig brothers from back in the day.
One-shot deal. We're in, we're out. Are you in?
Absolutely.
Yeah. You still crazy, man?
Well, I am what I am.
It would be smooth.
Bill, you're gonna be with Jimmy in the moving van. Bring the kid there, we scare him, and that's it.
It would be easy.
How's it looking, big man? Looking good.
It would be the biggest mistake.
Can I see some ID, please?
He ever made.
I'll give you ID! Please. I'm standing here with dead bodies, Jane. Dead bodies, Jane.
You got 48 hours. Leave Denver.
Now, time is running out.
We already made a call. The guy from El Paso, Mr. Shush, the most lethal contract killer west of the Mississippi.
And he's got 48 hours.
Buckwheats. Buckwheats for all of us, Jimmy. Even you.
To make the wrong things right.
I met someone. I don't want her hurt.
Didn't you learn nothing from me?
We don't stand up for each other. We're gone.
The Montinez brothers out of Albuquerque have been called in.
Party!
Andy Garcia, Christopher Lloyd, Treat Williams, William Forsythe, Gabrielle Anwar, Bill Nunn, Jack Warden, Fairuza Balk, and Christopher Walken.
You know I could look at you forever. I wouldn't have to do anything else.
Things to Do in Denver When You're Dead.
Okay, so I saw this at the cinema also. What about you?
Yeah, I saw this when it first came out and got released on when it went through to on video, and I've seen it a few times back in the day.
Did you like it back then?
I did like it back in the day.
Yeah, me too.
I was really looking forward to watching it again.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed it watching it now.
Yeah.
It's basically it is such a comic book movie.
Yeah, really.
I mean everything, the characters, the violence, the humour. Everything is amped up. You've got a strong cast, another really strong cast. Funny as well. I was laughing way more than I remembered laughing at it when I saw it all those years ago. The introduction of Christopher Lloyd, Pieces, as a porno projectionist with leprosy. His whole opening, that whole sequence of his chat was brilliant, and the soundtrack in this film is very good as well. There's so many good songs in this movie. Tom Waits, Johnny Cash, Dean Martin, and Christopher Walken as the man. It's just an amazing piece of shit.
I was really torn by this because I liked it a lot when I was a kid, and I think it got received quite well over here. But it was basically a flopperoon in America. It made nothing, and it didn't get particularly good reviews. But I think there's a lot more to like here than there is to dislike. Primarily, I think it's got, again, it was lumped in and it was assumed. I think it was assumed, as were all of these films at that time, to be
ripping Tarantino.
But I think the writer in Roger Ebert's review, he said the writer contacted me and said that the script was done, done before Tarantino, which I don't.
Yeah, I read that.
Yeah, I'm surprised that he felt the need to point that out. But the reason I think that there's a lot to like about this is it's got so much heart in comparison to most films. And again, I think it's so much more old-fashioned a movie than it's absolutely not cold and cynical. Really, it's really about. A very emotional. It's got a very emotional guy at the centre of it. There's a lot. What do you think was if you had to point out what was wrong with the film? What would you say?
Well, this is the thing: is that I forgave the big foibles. White boys. I forgave the things that were kind of weak in this film because of how much enjoyment I was having in the film.
Yeah.
The shakedown is really weak. It's a weak shakedown.
Yeah.
That they could have done a lot more thought and effort into dressing up as traffic cops and scaring a guy that Christopher Walken's son was upset was going to basically go off and marry another. That was weak and just felt to me like a very rushed bit of script.
And why was she in the van?
Oh, exactly. Just to be able to pop up and surprise.
Yeah.
I didn't buy into the relationship between Jimmy and Dagny.
Didn't you?
What? No, I didn't know.
Really? Oh no, I thought I really liked that part of it. I mean, I thought it was quite funny that they were completely non-judgmental about the fact that she was just shitting on her fiancé.
Well, that's completely. And she's still with him, and she goes, "Well, I'll come back with you," and everything. And he's in the fucking bar.
Yeah, right. And I was like, yeah, that's pretty harsh. I mean,
I just the thing is, it's all very comic book, but I didn't really get that kind of I didn't get any kind of emotional heft from that relationship. What things in the film got you going?
Well, I was constantly in a sort of tug of war, really liking aspects of it, and then really not like. I was basically the whole time skirting, sort of bobbing up and down between enjoying it and kind of getting slightly annoyed about it. The dialogue was, I think, it did have that sort of self-consciously hip quality.
It's trying so much to be quoted after the film.
Yeah. I mean, they have a phrase which is basically forget about it. It's forget about it, but they say give it a name. Give it a name, which I don't mind, but they just keep repeating it as if like, hey, check out this cool catchphrase we've got.
Well, it's like Christopher Walken's character being called the man with the plan.
Yeah, right. Jack Warden is in it as a one-man Greek chorus to just sort of fill you in on stuff, and I just thought most of the stuff that he was filling you in on, you didn't really need to know.
The VO was over the top.
It didn't really. It was just unnecessary.
It didn't add anything.
No, it didn't.
I mentioned to make it feel more than I. Jimmy the Saint. He's such what a guy.
Yeah,
but I already felt that he was a fucking good guy.
Yeah. But yeah, lots of it just felt like background noise. The kind of things that a young screenwriter puts in, the fact that Critical Bill was introduced beating a corpse, I actually quite liked that bit.
Yeah, I like that bit.
Yeah. And the fact that they've got, they have this slightly pathetic handshake where they hold their hands up, but it's supposed to...
Well, it stems from being back at prison and touching your hand on the glass.
But they never would have seen each other in prison. They never...
Look at their families.
Yeah.
Because fucking crims never go and visit each other in prison.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah. I thought that was a little bit... I suppose it makes sense. I just thought it seems to be calling back to the last time, they always saw each other in prison, that's how they did, but they would never have seen each other in prison. I don't know.
That's where there's solidarity between jailbirds.
Yeah, maybe that's it, yeah.
I loved how brazenly offensive and homophobic the man with the plan was. I don't know if you so much get a character like that in movies these days. I mean, he openly speaks out about homosexuals. One day you're saving the rainforest, the next you're chugging cock. I just loved what an outrageous arsehole he was.
Yeah, really.
And Walken was just exuding evil, fucking, beautifully fucked up crime boss.
Yeah.
Just brilliant, just golden Walken. Apparently, Jenny McCarthy was being interviewed on American Talk Show about working with Christopher Walken. I think he was doing Denver the Dead, and she said that he absolutely honked of like formaldehyde, and he kept taking out from his pocket a browned apple that he would keep gnawing on. And
what?
Yeah.
What? Because he was in character?
Fuck no. Just made it to be even more repellent.
Yeah, right. Yeah, like The Usual Suspects. I think this is a film that's completely raised by its cast because, again, everyone's really, really good. Treat Williams has never been this good, and I don't know what happened to him.
He's vanished.
He's kind of doing like B movies. He was in the. He was James Franco's dad in 127 Hours, but he's in it. That's like 2 scenes he's in.
Yeah.
But he's so good in this. Probably, you know, you believe.
I just thought it was a really nice moment, a good scene. Is when he basically Andy Garcia's gone there going, to obviously try and get another person to take these tickets to get out of Dodge before getting whacked.
Yeah.
And he's like, you really shouldn't have let me be part of this job. I mean, if you think about it, it's actually not funny. It's like, you fucking arsehole.
That was another thing that kind of the plot device of the volatile psychopath. Why did everything go wrong? Because there was a volatile psychopath. I always find that really, really just. I hope.
And this is how confident the thing is, though, is that the reason why he did that is because the guy had a potty mouth.
Yeah.
It's comic book. It's comic book.
No, I agree. I just that device. I've seen it. I just wish. I hope I never see it again. Andy Garcia is really just like he's one of those great movie stars that never was really a movie star. He's. I mean, it's almost as if I suspect that. I mean, it feels like the role was written for him. He's so good. He's so good in that part. And the film sort of takes place completely through that character in that it's a little bit hip, it's a little bit try-hard, and it's deliberately and sort of self-consciously old-fashioned, and it has a massive heart. It's his film through and through, and the film, like him, is kind of devastated by what happens to his friends when they basically end up in shit creek and they're all going to die. Andy Garcia is kind of devastated, and the film is too. A huge chunk of this film is really quite sad. Like the scenes of him basically saying goodbye to his friends. It's like
that's the strength of him playing that role. Is that he just conveys so much fucking emotion, sadness in his face. See how he's in the beginning of the film and how his whole face is sullen by the last third. This film contains possibly one of my favourite double death sequences, and that was the bit I remember quoting the dialogue after seeing it. I am Godzilla, you are Japan, and I was looking forward to that scene, and it didn't disappoint. I love the setup of that. He's been staying awake, religiously trying to avoid getting done by Mr. Shush, and he goes bang and falls down, and then he sets up this elaborate floodlights with a dead fox in the bed, and then it's just beautiful. It's a beautiful moment where they both basically kill one another and they just fall into this embrace, and I was just like, that is fucking golden.
Yeah, it's definitely a good bit. I think that's the most quoted bit in the film for sure. You still when I read some reviews online and they were all just like that bit. Similarly to you, it still holds up. It's a weird film in that it's constantly trying to seem like it's something else, but it's not really. It's quite a unique and unusual film, especially when it really kind of surprised me how much of the film's sort of how sad and how he's trying to make amends for the fuck up that he made, and when he's saying goodbye to all his characters, it's some weird. Again, I don't know why there was this comparison to Tarantino, because it doesn't have again, aside from the fact that there's fucking criminals in it and the dialogue's got a bit of snap to it. I thought it was a bit weird.
Yeah, I'd agree. I don't know. I think you fall into the trap of everything being referenced to Tarantino during that time period.
Yeah, I suppose that's it. Yeah.
Another also he's got a fucking, as I said before, it's got a zingy, fucking soundtrack's great. Tarantino, fucking great soundtrack.
Yeah.
I love the end sequence as well. The end sequence with them all being on the boat in,
boat drinks.
But was that
boat drinks?
Yeah, boat
they say that throughout the film, don't they?
Yeah,
boat drinks.
Yeah, it's just a lovely, it's just a bit, it's a real bittersweet ending of having them all reunited again, and that you're just like, I was just had a big fucking smile on my face.
Yeah, it's a
really likeable film, and it's there is holes in there, but it really didn't spoil my enjoyment. I really enjoyed it.
I did like the fact that it wasn't glamorous. The crime that they commit is petty and completely pointless. There aren't really any cool gunfights or anything. I mean, aside from that bit, which is quite a nifty bit.
There's not what there is. There's the one sequence where it's a prolonged action sequence.
In the bar.
Mr. Shush goes to dispatch
Bill Nunn's character.
Yeah. And there's the shootout at the bar where Mr. Shush dispatches everybody, but there's not much gunplay in the film.
No, and everyone who dies suffers quite severely.
Boats.
Yeah. Like I said, I kept skirting between enjoying this and kind of it irritating me a little bit. And some of the dialogue, they keep saying, at least twice in the film, they say, "Hey, he was during the scene, he was the bitch's bastard." And I was like, what does that mean? I really thought about it. What on earth could that mean?
The bitch's bastard?
He's the bitch's bastard. And I'm like, what?
Bitching? positive connotation, bitchin' bastard.
Yeah, I don't.
I mean, the whole they tried so hard to make the dialogue be so self-referential in its own world that it would hopefully be quoted.
Yeah, but there were times when I felt like why did they have the whole thing of Treat Williams eating shit in prison?
He's a fecal
freak.
Fecal freak?
Yeah. The interesting thing about that when that's first revealed, where they have that spat in the cafe, is that just before that happens, or when they reveal that he ate shit for a bet or something.
He was only a little bitty piece of shit.
Treat Williams says, yeah, well, he got done over for raping kids, and no one cares about that. Yeah, well, and everyone's gives a shit about the fact that he ate shit, but the revelation that Bill Nunn's character apparently is a rapist of children, nobody gives a shit, and it's never mentioned again, and it's ignored. I thought that was quite weird. Yeah. Yeah, it's elevated by great acting, but it's a film where, like I said again, I was enjoying and then I wasn't enjoying. I never enjoyed it so much that it felt worthwhile. At the end I just thought that was really pointless, because entertainment, pieces of entertainment like this are not supposed to, quote unquote mean anything, but if they're not entertaining you and they're not entertaining in and of themselves, I just kind of think.
But you weren't entertained?
I kind of wasn't and I kind of wasn't. I kind of just felt like it was treading water trying to get to the end of the story. I mean, when you look at it in the cold light of day, because that's what I did. Afterwards I thought, okay, what was that film about? And it's like
What, it's about mortality. The whole thing's about mortality. The whole with Andy Garcia working for that company, which you keep getting cutbacks to people leaving messages to their families, and it's facing mortality. That's what it's all about.
The weirdest thing was the ending. I mean, his way of sort of saying goodbye to the world was to impregnate a prostitute and then kill.
So he could record his video.
Yeah, and then kill, arguably, the one innocent party. Although at the beginning it's insinuated that he's.
Yeah, I think that kind of justifies him getting killed. The fact that he got to a point where he's grabbing school children.
I reckon they inserted that afterwards. Because it seems completely cold-blooded to kill this guy who's, played like a slightly simple guy.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think... For me, this is like, this is not an adult film. I feel like it's very comic booky and very much appealing to a teen audience. It's so comic booky. It's like... Yeah, I couldn't really take it on a level of being like a serious crime sort of... everything is so amped... Is that I just took it on the basis of it just being so comic booky.
Yeah, I suppose you're right. I mean, I suppose it was just the self-consciousness of it. Yeah, I don't know. I remember liking it a lot when I was a kid. It lost a little something. Maybe I was expecting too much from it again. I guess maybe. One person would definitely put Usual Suspects above this. As Ebert. Ebert sort of gave this 2.5. So he's.
Wow.
Well, yeah. I don't know. I had a funny reaction to this. I think it might just have been the fact that I was expecting a little bit more, but yeah.
So when it gets down to brass tacks, we got The Usual Suspects in one corner, we got Things to Do in Denver in the other corner. Where are we going?
Well, I mean, I don't think it's any surprise where I'm going. Where are you going?
Well, Usual Suspects.
Yeah, it's got to be. Was it close?
No. No.
Yeah, no. I mean, if you haven't seen that in a long time, do go back and check it out, because it's just. I mean, it's aged just fine.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, well, thank you very much for listening. Check us out, Facebook, Twitter, all that stuff.
You know that fat intro.
Yeah, we're on YouTube and all that stuff. But yeah, we'll be back in a couple of weeks' time. Thank you very much for listening. See you later.
Laters.